Okay, yes, we have made it to the last week of February. Happy Wednesday, you guys. So this is Nourish Project, and I am so excited for tonight because we're going to talk about one of my favorite things, uh, working out and moving our bodies. I know this may not be everyone's favorite thing, but hopefully by the end of all this, you'll have a newfound appreciation for it. Um, and although it's true that you really cannot out exercise a bad diet, I wish you could, but we're going to keep focusing on nutrition more than anything. But we're also going to start talking about exercise and movement and strength training. And so we're really going to focus on that tonight. But we're not going to do that until the second half of the call. The first, I want to go in and do check-ins with everybody, hear from everyone how it's going. And take some time to answer everyone's questions. So specifically, I want to hear like, how's the tracking going? Any questions about that? Any even like practical how-to questions? We can go over all that kind of stuff. And then, if anything came up that was a challenge or a surprise, if you're finding yourself way over or way under, or that you're completely fell off the wagon for a couple of days, it all happens as part of this learning curve. So don't feel bad. And I'm sure other people are going through the same stuff. So let's do that first. And then we'll switch over to talking about exercise and movement. Okay, awesome. So I'm not sure if Miriam's going to join us. As she said last night, she's pregnant. It's been sort of rougher for her. So I think she's probably ready for bed about this time every night. So hopefully she'll join us. If not, she can catch the replay and I will catch her up on everything. Okay, I'm just going to sort of go around the circle and call on people. Laura, will you kick us off?
Sure. My goal for the week was to pay attention to my hunger cues because even though, I'll tell myself I'll track, there will be times where I just am like, screw it and just eat, 10 bowls of cereal in one night. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but also my bowls of cereal are like, they're big. So, so I just wanted to pay attention to why I'm doing that, and try to not do that also. So that's been going well, I think. I've been trying to, like, if I think I'm hungry, like, stop and like think about it for a second before I just dive right into snacking. And I don't know, I would say like 90% of the time it's like, no, I'm actually not hungry, I'm thirsty. So just I need to drink more water. Um, other than that, I think okay. I tried some new recipes this week because I was getting really bored. I made that detox soup, which is like bomb. It's so good. I thought that it would be like way garlicky and like super too much, but it was super good. So if you need a recipe if you like soup, it's awesome.
Yay. You have some really good recipes. That life-changing chicken one looked really good too.
Yeah, that one's really good. The trick with that though is like save all your fat for that meal because it's really fatty. Because it's chicken thighs with the skin on, which is why it's life-changing. So
yeah.
Okay, and awesome. Then I made a chicken burrito thing too, and that was super good. So just trying to kind of be more mindful.
Good. I love that. I think that's something, like tracking macros is one thing, but it's always going to go back to your mindset because like tracking macros is kind of a game. You have to be like into playing the game in order to do it. Cause if you're just like, oh, screw it, I don't care. It's so easy to go off of it. But if you pause and think like, am I hungry or am I bored? Am I stressed out? Am I angry? Is this like a situational eating thing where every time I go to X place, we get X thing? Like all those are reasons for eating, which can be fine, like if it's in your plan and it hits your macros. But if you're like already way over and you're not hungry, like you can just sort of become aware of that and then let it go. So that's awesome. Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing all that, Laura. Ariel, how about you?
Hi. Well, speaking of fat, that's definitely my big issue is that I think coming off of, not recently, but I think I shifted a lot when I did keto a couple years ago. And so my mindset's like fat good, carbs not so good. And so I tend to eat a lot more of that, cheese and all that good stuff. I got an air fryer, which I'm going to test out tonight. And I'm making chicken breast, which I heard everybody was like, they're going to get so dry. But I think I found a good recipe, which calls for brining first. So they've been brining in the refrigerator all afternoon. So hopefully they come out okay. And I just like making like little changes. Like instead of like 2 eggs, I'll do like an egg and some egg whites. Or like I got, those like Beyond Burger patties. I like ordered them from Costco because I was like, why not? And they're like high in protein. And I got the sandwich thins that, Annie had recommended. So like just like those little changes here and there. But I made like an entire like bacon cheeseburger with the bun, like when it was like less than 500 calories. And I was like, this is amazing, right? So that kind of thing. But yeah, just being more mindful of like the specific macros. And I'm very much looking forward to your workshop next week, Annie, because I feel like meal planning is going to help a lot with that.
Yeah, it will help. And I'm not saying I'm awesome with the workshop, but like it really will help.
Yeah. So I think that'll be good. And I will say, like, we've gotten so much snow in Chicago. Yesterday was the first time I like actually went out to like the grocery store in a minute because I've been getting like Costco delivered. So it's the first time I have like real produce in my house. So that's been good to like change it up a little bit from my normal for the last couple of weeks. So yeah.
That's awesome. And it's those like small shifts that really will make the difference without completely affecting the enjoyment of your food. And I've been thinking about doing this lately. I have so many things where I've just like made the switch. So I think I'm going to try to like collect all the things and make like a guide of like the sort of the easy macro friendly subs, like just like switching reduced fat cheese for regular cheese is like an easy switch. And all of a sudden the cheese has more protein than fat, or like the air fryer chicken strips instead of like fried chicken. So good. I mean, is it better than like straight up chicken breast? Probably not, but like it tastes really good. Just sort of like little subs like that where you're still keeping the bulk of the flavor, but it's like an easy switch where you can still have delicious food. And those little changes really will like add up at the end of the day. So awesome. Okay, awesome. Thanks for sharing all that. Mary, are you ready or do you need?
No, I'm ready. Yeah, I've
Okay.
got a salad here. So
Okay.
it was I would say food wise, it was a really good week. I too I'm uber focused on getting more protein, and I cannot believe how little protein I had before because I was always worried about the calories. So I would make a sandwich with, low cal bread or whatever, and I would have like one slice of ham and one slice of turkey. And now I'm realizing I'm piling on the meat and, not the other stuff. And it's just keeping me fuller longer. And I'm cooking a lot of, we bought a tenderloin. I put one of my recipes out there, which was amazing. And had steak salads. And so it's been really good, but I have, like, prior to starting this, I had a really bad 2020. I lost my brother, my mom, our dog, and one of my key employees like completely screwed me. And all that happened, and I have a tendency to like just, like very positive, take everything on. And then my body finally reacts. And so my back has been locked up. And so I've been in a lot of pain. And so I've been getting massages and trying to stretch. And but it's been hard when you have that like nagging, it's like a toothache in your back, times 10. It's just hard to like keep the energy up and just keep positive and motivated. So I'm trying, and I figured out like I'm a data geek, even though Annie, I just put all my measurements and stuff in there. My husband was doing all my measurements for me. But it's like, I love seeing that. And so now to be able to like track that and track I like this whole thing. Like it's kind of weirdly fun.
Yes,
So-
it is fun. And you know,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is like even with like weighing yourself daily, you know, unless you know anyone who might have a history of like, you know, disordered eating or like mental health issues around that, it's just really good because it's just like more data and then you can see it. And tonight I'm going to go over how to make like a training, like sort of switch our journaling from like the way we were doing it to a training journal. And like that kind of, it's great to like see that and you can look at it and see the progress and see directly like what input is creating what outcome. And then it takes away the like good and bad, like good food, bad food. It's like just data and science and
Yeah.
math. And
Yeah.
that's really exciting. And I have to tell you, like, speaking of just like low calories, the first diet I ever went on in my entire life was when I was a junior in high school. And we found out I was a 4-sport athlete. I was not by any means overweight, but we found out at Christmas that we were going on a cruise for spring break. And so, of course, being a teenage girl, I decided that I had to lose weight. So I was 5'10". I weigh about 185, 195 pounds right now. I weighed 155 pounds back then, and I started eating lettuce sandwiches for lunch and plain oatmeal for breakfast. And I lost
my
20 pounds. And the only reason I stopped, I thought I looked super cute. And when I look at pictures, I was like haggard. But the only reason I stopped was thank goodness for sports. This isn't another reason I'm such an advocate for sports for girls is because I was a big girl and I started getting pushed around. I was getting like out rebounded and I was like, oh no. But like that was like my first foray into like cutting calories. I had no idea. And
Yeah.
so I get those like mini sandwiches, but aren't they so much better with lots of meat?
Oh yeah, way better.
Yes. All right. Okay. Awesome. Thanks for sharing all that. Michelle, how about you? Hi, Miriam, by the way. Hi.
Yeah, I had a fairly good week. I feel like I'm doing all the things. Like I'm
Good.
tracking, I'm, drinking water probably more regularly than I ever have.
Mhm.
I'm getting in walks because it's nicer outside. So I'm like trying to make sure I'm getting in some sort of activity and some fresh air. So I'm kind of feeling like, okay, and I'm big into like automating things, right? Because I don't have time to think about it. So it's like I have my protein shake in the morning. I have the exact same lunch every day, which is veggies and either roasted pork or chicken. Like I got that figured out, so I can just set it and forget it.
Yes,
But
I love it.
I went away for the weekend to a friend's cabin, and it is so hard to track when you're not in your environment.
Yes.
Like, and I tracked, but there's no way I was gonna like eat enough protein. Like I wasn't gonna eat like double, like another chicken breast or something like, it's just, it was a lot harder to do outside of our regular environment.
Yes, that is something that comes up all the time. And it's something we're going to have like a whole session about in this because what happens for a lot of people is you get like super into like, this is my diet and exercise regimen. And I'm like meal prepping and I got my stuff. And then you paralyze when you're in a social situation and, and you can go one of two ways. You can, which I want you guys to go neither of these two ways. I want you to be able to easily navigate the middle. And like one way is like, you bring your own lunchbox of Tupperware with chicken and broccoli, and you're the one at the party eating out of Tupperware. Or you feel like, oh, I can't go to this. I can't go to happy hour because I don't know what to order, or I don't want to mess up my diet. I don't want to mess up my results. None of that is fun. Or you go the whole other way and you're like, okay, well, if I can't be perfect, I'm just going to like eat all the things and like drink all the drinks. And then, you end up feeling gross the next day, get kind of like detracted from your goal. So we'll have a whole session on navigating network events, parties, family gatherings, like traveling and stuff like that. Because it's really important. And once you kind of start like thinking ahead and practicing and like, learning how to prepare for it, it can be not quite as challenging. It's always a little challenging. And if someone else is cooking a meal for you, it's like tracking it, it might not even happen. But but there's ways to make it a lot easier and less stressful and to still feel really good.
Yeah.
So like in the meantime, I would just say, like, I know you guys are going away again, you know,
Mhm.
just sort of like plan like what you can plan, you know, like make sure you bring your shakes along. If you're like, if you can kind of take charge of the menu as much as possible, maybe like insert like, hey, let's have some extra egg whites in breakfast, or, you know, stuff like that. And bring what you need, if it, even if it's like an afternoon snack of a sandwich or something like that. And then, you know, do the best you can, and then don't stress out about it. Just enjoy it, and then get back on track tomorrow, because it's a long game, and like a day or a weekend is, in the long scheme of things, is just like a little blip on the radar.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to like protein up in the car, like, and have
Yeah.
like a protein bar to just like get my little boost on at least one day and another on the way home. But yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. Or like those little yogurts that I showed you guys, you know,
Yeah.
right there is like 12 grams of protein, you know, just little stuff like that, where you could have that, even if everyone else is having like happy hour, and you're like, cool, I'll have happy hour with my yogurt before I dip or something like that. But yeah, I always pack a cooler now for like, even like a road trip to like the North Shore. I will like pack a cooler with like sandwich stuff, protein shakes, yogurt, like all that kind of stuff, because it's just way too easy to grab like carby, salty, munchy stuff, when, especially when that's like the situational eating that we were talking about before. You're like, of course I'm on a road trip, I should get combos and Skittles. Well, how's that going to make you feel right the next day? Yeah, awesome. Okay, yeah, we'll go through more of that. And yeah, I think just the more you can kind of just prepare and sort of think through like what could come up, that'll be really helpful. And awesome. Phoebe, you're home. Yay. How about you?
Whew, good. And I got to listen to everybody on my drive. So thanks for keeping me entertained.
Perfect.
The week went pretty well. I think I'm doing my goal was to keep up full water absorption for the week, trying to get to 100 ounces every day. And I got pretty close to that every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's interesting. It's good. I can feel a difference. I've been an anti-water person, and so now I'm not, so that's good. And my goal also was to eat at least 3 meals, to eat 3 times. And I was successful in that. And I think the tracking is helping with that. The MyFitnessPal tracking is, because that's fun to do for me anyway. And so I think the planning will be good, because right now I'm like, okay, how did I do today? Working on it, but waiting to see the results instead of just really planning to make sure I get what I need. So I'm still low on protein, but I've done pretty well with calories. And when I do fall off the wagon, I either get right back on, or I don't fall all the way off. I still have a leg hanging on or something.
Good.
So,
yes.
right. And I realized that for me, normally when I do things like this, I'm like all in 100%. I have to do everything right from day one. And if I don't, then I beat myself up and try harder. Or lately it's more like, F this, I'm not doing it.
Yes.
And so I think now with this, I'm not doing everything right. And I haven't, I'm not totally on board with, I'm on board, but I'm not totally completing everything, but it's okay. So I think that's progress too.
Yes, that is okay. And I'll say it like again and again, this is all about growth mindset, and just it's a big learning curve. And we're shifting a lot of lifestyle habits that are ingrained for years. Like they're not going to turn around the whole Titanic in 2 minutes. Like we're going to slowly turn the ship so that it feels really good.
But I think, in the past, I need to turn the Titanic. The Titanic needs to be turned, so then we have to do it.
Yes, we are going to turn it. We're going to do it gently and lovingly, and we're going to have fun, which I love that you said that. Is anyone else having fun with MyFitnessPal? Like kind of like, oh, it's kind of a game and trying to like get the puzzle of their macros. Okay, that's awesome. Because the more you can see it as kind of a game and trying to like tweak it to hit those numbers, I mean, the better it is. But being like kind of stressful and always reactive. Awesome. I love that update. That's fantastic. Cool. Ambria, can you go next? And specific question for you. I know you reached out to me because you're having trouble getting MyFitnessPal. Did you get that figured out?
Did. So I am having troubles with it. So it won't let me set it up with a password. So I can only log in through Facebook, and it won't put the app on my phone. So I have to go to the app store every time and open it from there.
No.
I don't know, 3 days of it, and I was pretty
Oh.
frustrated. So, I mean, I have it well enough I can use it, but I'm not having fun with it yet.
No, that doesn't sound fun at all.
But I have a way to get into it, which is good.
Mhm.
And I think I'll never be great at all of this, but I'll be okay. It's making me at least, I think, more aware and more thoughtful.
Mhm.
And then I think with the warmer weather, it just getting outside and moving. I've had calls where they're like webinars, and I know I won't have to talk. So I've taken the dog out and gotten some steps in, and I'm not going to get 10,000 in it, but I thought I can hear you in the back of my head saying, something is better than nothing. And
Mhm.
fail to plan to fail. So that your mantras have been working and going through my head and making some progress. But I think what BB said, I've always thought I had to be all in and the perfectionist. I was going to do every single thing.
Mhm.
Started that this way and was overwhelmed. And now I'm good with just, doing some of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. That is awesome. Yes. Something is always better than nothing. And that perfectionist mindset, I get that. Like, I am like right there with you, like, do it right or don't do it at all. Like, perfectionist, overachiever. And that's where we just get paralyzed and quit the whole thing. Right. And like, that doesn't serve us at all. So that's amazing. Yeah. One of my friends, another lawyer I used to work with at Winthrop, she would take all her conference calls like that on walks this summer. And that really worked well for her too, especially the ones where she was just kind of like listening in. So yeah, that's a great tactic. And you guys, the weather this week, at least if you're in Minnesota, is supposed to be so nice, like high 30s. Like this snow is on its way out. So that is amazing. Ariel, is it the same for Chicago?
We were 40 today. I thought it was like summertime outside. I was so hot.
Yes.
And I went out and I was like, it's sunny. But now, of course, everything is like, there's water puddles everywhere. I mean, it's a hot mess. But no, it's a very, very exciting time.
That is awesome. Yes, for sure. And the sun and the light coming back should be giving everyone more energy and just affecting your mood. And it's just so good. So that's awesome. Okay, last but not least, Miriam, we're so happy to see you. And I don't know if you've been tracking, but I know you've been like hit or miss with how you're feeling. So yeah, just give us an update and how everything's going for you.
Be speaking my language because I feel like not having control of my body right now is really a struggle. And, I have that same thing where I want to be perfect, but like not being able to I'm passed out by like 8 p.m. most days. So that's been a real struggle. And I know Annie's been encouraging me on the side. So I've set little goals, drinking water. So that was something that I was able to do. And nausea is going away. So I'm focused more on eating better. So I feel like I'm eating veggies again, which is nice instead of just carbs. So I'm taking those as wins. I'm not where I need to be. I was telling Annie, I feel like the slacker in the class because I'm not doing any of these things.
No, you're growing a whole human.
So yeah, little wins, I guess. Slowly starting to get my energy back. So I'm back to trying to cook and not ordering. And I'm trying to keep my cravings to 1 a week. So I had donuts earlier this week and saying 5 more days before I can give into any other cravings. So it's slow, but I feel what you said. It's like, I just don't have control of my body right now. And it's really, really frustrating to not do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it should, you're sounds like you're already kind of coming out of the worst of it. And like, just, listen to your body on the days you're feeling good, like, hit those macros, get that protein and veggies. And the days you just need like all carbs, like just do what you can and then go to bed
It was
early.
scary because I think before I started, I was on a cut with my old coach. So I had those macros in And then being so hungry, like I would try to put it in and I had my old macros and I just felt like I was completely failing because it was a cut too. It wasn't like my normal. So I think having done that last week, that was just encouragement to say, okay, yeah, it's okay to eat more carbs. And, you know, I'm not as behind as I thought I was maybe.
No, you're not at all. And like, the other reason you're so hungry during the first trimester is that's when your body's creating the placenta. So it like needs that fuel. So just listen. And like the more like sleep and walking and water you can get, you know, just create that like happy, good energy ambiance for the baby. Like the baby just needs you to be healthy and happy. So we'll just keep working on that. And then when you get that second trimester glow, we'll get you like eating really well again, strength training and everything else.
And then I have a funny story. We told my daughter, she's 5 years old today, because I had my 10-week appointment and she cried because she does not want another baby.
Oh no.
So she just like tears, like, what? This can't be happening. So I just thought I'd share.
She's an only child right now, right?
Yeah.
She'll probably end up being an amazing big sister. Okay, good. Well, I am so excited to hear that that's going well for everybody. I love it. And, you know, I also love hearing like no one's at like 100%, and that's okay. Like that's where you should be at right now. Like this is a big learning curve. It's a big lifestyle shift. So this week, we're just going to keep practicing. For those of you who sent me your check-ins, I'll get you feedback tomorrow. So just for the future going forward, if you could send me those check-in sheets, so it'll be for Monday through Sunday, and then send it to me anytime from like Sunday night to Tuesday morning. And then I'll try to give feedback to everybody like within about 24 hours. So if you get it to me on Tuesday, I'll try to get it back to you Wednesday. If you get it to me Wednesday, it'll probably be Thursday. And then that way I can give you really like individualized feedback, looking at your numbers, looking at the data, and get you some individualized coaching that way. And it does not have to be perfect. Even if you forgot to track for 3 days or you went way over or way under, I just want to see where you're at so I can meet you there and keep you going on this journey. And so I just want everyone to keep their same macros. Next week, we're going to start talking about one of my favorite things, which Laura already knows, high carb days. So we're going to start mixing it up a little bit with some higher carb days and some low carb days. We'll talk all about the science behind that, why we need to do it, why it's awesome, besides the obvious reason, getting a lot of carbs in 1 or 2 days. And then I'll show you how to make that change. And then we'll talk about some practical tips of how to implement it and set you up for success. But the more you can be consistent now, the better, because we really want to see, are these macros right for you? Are you starting to lose weight? Are you maintaining? Are you gaining? How's your energy? All that stuff is what I'm going to be looking at in the feedback. And we can't get that measurement if you're not consistent. Like we don't know if the macros are right if you're, you know, kind of all over the place. So just try to be as consistent as you can. And you can do that by planning, by pre-programming stuff into MyFitnessPal. So it's not a surprise at the end of the day if you're hitting those macros or not. By automating your meals, so you're eating same thing, you know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or maybe not dinner, but like breakfast, lunch, and snack. I kind of like to do about the same thing. All those things are going to help get, you know, consistent and help hit those macros. And then, yeah, if you're like meal prepping or something, I know, BB, didn't you make like a batch of like egg muffin things? Yes.
Yeah, I'll put the recipes up. I have 3 things that I made which is crazy. I mean, so I have to, I don't think I shared this with you guys, that I have finished 2 cartons of eggs since we started this.
Yes.
I haven't finished a carton of eggs in probably 20 years.
So good. The incredible edible egg.
Right? So yeah, I have a cup. I keep saying I'm going to, but I will put those recipes up. I've got muffins, a pumpkin loaf, and something else for breakfast or snacks. They're really good.
Awesome. Yeah, please share.
Is that your ninja cookies?
Ninja cookies.
Yeah,
that was the third one. Yeah.
Yes,
Yummy.
please share, because I'm sure everybody would love. And Laura shared the chicken detox recipe too. So that'd be awesome. Cause I know.
And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Okay. So, oh, those are such great updates. I love it. We're going to switch over to talking about my other favorite thing, which is working out. But first I want to make a couple announcements. So reminder, on Monday, I'm going to do the meal planning workshop, how to plan a month's worth of meals in about 30 minutes or less. And we'll actually like go through and do it. So you'll, the workshop will probably be like 30 to 45 minutes and you'll actually have a whole plan for the week. Kind of fun that it's on March 1st. Unfortunately, it would probably be better if it was like on a Thursday or Friday so you could grocery shop over the weekend, but we'll do the best we can. If anyone is interested but can't make it, I will be recording it and then I'll just put it in the group. So that'll be really fun. I'm glad some of you are already looking forward to it. And then the second thing is I decided to start doing, this is optional, of course, I know how busy everyone is, but I want to start doing a book club with my clients. So stuff that's really on topic for what we're talking about and the issues we're going through. So March is going to be the first one. And the book is Burnout by Emily Nagoski and her twin who has the same last name. Has anyone read that already? No? Has anyone heard of it?
Just
Okay.
from you.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of, yes. Oh, BB and I talked about that on her call and I told her to order it. Yes. Did you start reading it yet, BB? Okay, perfect. So we're going to read it for March and then I'll set like a special, maybe like a lunchtime thing to kind of like talk about it towards the end of the month. So I'll post that information in the group too. But yeah, who's the other? This like Emily Nagoski, right? Can you look at it, BB, or Michelle? Yeah.
Emily and Amelia.
Emily and Amelia. So whoever names their twins, Emily and Amelia, that seems a little brutal.
Right.
And they are twins. I ordered it from the library. I read the whole thing straight through and I'm going to buy it so I can like mark it up and highlight it. So if you're a library lady, like cool, but I kind of recommend buying this one and in the paper copy so you can kind of take notes if you like to do that. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. We can switch over to talking about exercise. Actually, I'm not going to share my screen yet because I want to do kind of another mini round of check-ins and just kind of read the room on everybody. I want to go around again. Can be a little quicker, but if you want to go in detail, that's fine. But I want to hear kind of where everyone is with workouts and exercise. So how do you feel about exercising? And if you hate it, that is fine. Like that is okay. If you're like a gym rat and wish you could be a professional athlete, that's awesome too. Like anywhere, cool. What's your current exercise regime or protocol, or what are you kind of like currently doing? And then what's your favorite kind of workout? Okay, so let's just go around again. I'll start with Laura, if you don't mind.
I hate the idea of working out. I like loathe it. I hate it. But when I do it, I love it. That's the stupid thing that I just need to remember that. I right now am not working out like at all. Every once in a while I'll do like yoga, but it's like super chill yoga. My like workout of preference right now is just going on walks. And now that it's warmer, like I've actually been able to do that. But I'm not like speed walking. I'm just like walking. So, and my favorite workouts in the past have been, I really love Zumba, and I like forgot that I loved it, but my little daughter and I did this like mother-daughter thing, and they, one of like the movement parts, because how are you supposed to keep a 7-year-old entertained on a Zoom call? They brought in a Zumba instructor, and so she was like Zumbaing, and we were all doing it too. And I was like, oh, I forgot how much I love this. So, when I tell myself I'm going to work out, I think I'll try and find some Zumba stuff on YouTube and just do that to get back to at least like getting my heart rate up.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at.
Okay. Thanks for sharing all that. Sorry, I just got a weird message on my phone. when I lived in New York, I started going to Zumba, and I lived in this Caribbean neighborhood in like downtown Brooklyn. And the woman who taught it was this Puerto Rican woman. And so I ended up in this gym at the YMCA with this room full of 50 to 60-year-old Caribbean mamas. And I was like the only white girl in there. And I was sitting in the back of the gym, and these women like got it in, and they're amazing. And the teacher became one of my close friends. And she, because of COVID, is now teaching online. So she does a couple classes a week, and she just asked for like a $5 Venmo payment. So I will share that information if you guys are interested, because she is so good and she has so much fun with it. Yeah, Zumba, I agree. I love Zumba too. Okay, thanks for sharing all that. Ariel, how about you?
I think I mentioned, so I had a concussion back in October, and unfortunately it was severe enough that I've been dealing with post-concussion syndrome for what feels like eternity. I had to go into vestibular therapy for it. And when I first started therapy, they're like, come on in and we'll test where you're at. And I think I made it to maybe 4 minutes on the treadmill before I was like, I'm going to hurl all over this machine. I need to stop. So that was my base. And it's so funny because, I get like the Facebook, like a year ago today, and like a year ago, I was going to F45 HIIT classes. And so it was like really hard to go from like, I'm active, I'm 32, like I can work out for like 45 minutes, an hour at like a really intensity, high cardio level, to then like, I literally couldn't do anything. So that's like a struggle, like just emotionally, because you're like, what? I want to get back to that. So my goal is to get back to that. I'm slowly working back up to it. But like for my macros, I just basically put sedentary because I just physically haven't been able to do it. But working back up, trying to do 20 minutes a day of like this really silly video that my physical therapist sent me that has like no visual stimulation whatsoever, because it's all I can tolerate right now. So we'll get there.
Did you like F45?
I loved it. So I really like, I like Zumba too. I like music and people, and I just feel like the time goes by so quick, especially in the HIIT classes, because they're like you're like jumping around and doing all these different things. It feels like the time just flies by. And it was like I felt like I manifested it, which sounds so silly, but there was literally a storefront that had been opened down the block, and I was like, wouldn't it be great if like there was like a HIIT gym that opened up right there? And then it did, and I was like, this is so powerful. I have magical powers. So I was like, I manifested it, now I can't go. But yeah.
You'll get back to it. Awesome. Okay, Michelle, how about you?
So currently, I lift weights with Annie in the mornings, up to 3 days a week. I don't always make it in the mornings, and that's because I get migraines, and if I get them, it happens like overnight, and I wake up with one. And I never, like, I try to do my best, but I don't always know when it's going to happen. But anyway, so if I sometimes push it too hard, it will cause a migraine. Or like if I do a ton of cardio, go for a run or something like that, it could cause a migraine. So I have a little bit of limitation there, but lifting weights has been working pretty well. And I kind of like the, I don't know, aggressive might not be the right word, but I like the powerfulness that comes from that. And Annie can attest, like I can do man push-ups now, which is pretty
Yes. Cool. How many did you do this morning?
I did 8.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's call them full push-ups. Okay. They're not like, they're not like exclusively in the man.
It's true.
But yes, that was amazing.
Yeah. But I am really missing, I played a little bit of squash, which is also kind of aggressive, right? And like, I think it worked really well for stress to like get that out there. So I'm missing being able to do that during the pandemic. But yeah, the aggressive stuff, like get it, get it worked out.
Okay, I'm gonna pause just there for a second. I have this unknown name in the waiting room, and I don't know if it's Ariel. Ariel, can you hear us? Like, is that you?
No, I'm here. I was just putting my chicken in the air fryer. That's why I went off video, but I'm right here.
I know BB was there when I had the Zoom bomber, so I am gonna remove this person since all of us are here.
Weird.
That was, no, it was a different time. I will tell you guys what happened with that guy, but it was actually quite scary. Okay. Yeah. And also, Michelle, you did the ladies lifting club at the Minneapolis club when we had that. That was really fun. Okay. Miriam, how about you?
Yep. So hit workouts I really like. So over the summer, I did Insanity, Shanti. So that was fun, but I'm getting older and the jumping didn't help. So most recently, before I got pregnant, I was doing weights and then kind of trying to hit 8 to 10,000 steps a day. And I felt like I was getting into a good rhythm. So I kind of liked the walking and not jumping and running. And then the weights, I think, was a good kind of fit complement to add on to that. So that was kind of the baseline. But again, kind of like Ariel, sedentary right now as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, cool. Bibi, how about you?
I am starting to get back into my back rehab because my back's pretty bad. I had fusion, spinal fusion, and a long time ago, and it's pretty cranky right now. So I'm working on changing my mindset about exercise because what I was doing before wasn't working well. So getting back into the rehab, trying to do yoga at least 4 days a week and walking. So I usually get in 5,000 or 6,000 steps in practice, but that isn't fun walking. So I'm trying to do fun walking or biking or something like that. So nothing serious, but fun.
Okay, awesome. What limitations do you have because of your back injury?
It's mainly just the pain. I also had knee surgery on both knees. So that is a problem. That's actually more limiting right now to what I can do. The back is I just have to be careful. But as far as lifting and stuff, it's not really an issue because I am careful. But with the knees, it sucks. So it's, I have to figure out what I'm going to do about that.
Okay, we can talk more about that separately too. Okay, Ambria, how about you?
I like to exercise. I don't like the thought of it, but I really like it when I do it. But I found for me to be successful, it has to be built into my routine. So Orange Theory for me is what has worked really well and what I enjoy. And it is, I enjoy seeing the calorie burn and the slap points and the competitiveness part of it. But if it's not part of my routine, I don't do it. So with the pandemic, we did get a Peloton and I like the competitiveness of that. I like the leaderboard and that piece. It's 20 feet away and it's still like, I only do it on the weekends. So for me, I know I just need to build it into the day.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that.
Once I do it.
We'll talk about that later tonight. I think that's really important for everyone, like everyone on the planet, but especially for how busy all of you guys are. And it has to be like on the calendar with time blocked off. And then you have to let your calendar be the boss and not be like, oh, I'm just going to work through this because it's not really important. Like it is really important. Cool. Yeah, I know Orange Theory and Peloton are really fun. Mary, how about you?
So 15 years ago, I was majorly into working out. I did yoga sculpt every day. And I had a personal trainer. And I look at pictures now, I was 40 years old and I was in the best shape of my life. Today, I hate working out. I loathe it. I just feel like I don't have the energy. So, I try to walk, and I take the dog to the dog park, and I thought I was up around 10,000. I'm not anywhere near that. I'm probably around 6,000. And I'm also trying to stretch in the morning, especially with this whole back thing. And I love yoga, and I've done it when my girls are home. They always get me to do it because they work out all the time, and I do it with them, and I love it. It's just the motivation to do it. It's
Mhm.
just, it's hard.
Yep.
So
Uh, um,
sucks.
that all sounds familiar. Awesome. Okay, guys, thank you so much for sharing this. I love it. It helps. I think it helps like everyone like understand where everyone else is coming from and that you're not alone. Like we're hearing so many overlapping themes here. Like don't want to do it, but you know you feel better when you're done doing it. It has to be on the calendar. You have to make it a priority. What else? I don't know, just getting that movement. And like also, you know, Mary, I think as you start eating more, your energy is going to go up and then you'll have the energy to get the workouts and it's going to be like a positive, like virtuous cycle. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and go to the PowerPoint slides. So I'm just going to dive right into it. Come here. So I know, BB, I know you have your other call at 7:30. So if you need to, you know, log off, no problem. I'll record this as usual and then put it in the group. Why isn't this here? Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to just really be focusing on the move more aspect of this tonight and talking about strength training. And by the end, I want you to all feel kind of excited about strength training and kind of have a plan for how you can best work it into your life, because everyone is in a unique situation and it really needs to work for you and be something that you're excited about. So first of all, I just want to talk about why strength training is queen over all the other exercises. And I'm going to be really pushing it. And hopefully, you know, you guys will try it. Some of you already have done my workouts or are working out with me now. So you kind of know this stuff, but strength training is amazing. So number one, it will raise your metabolism for about 72 hours. So 2 to 3 days after strength training, it will boost your metabolism. Cardio boosts your metabolism for just the time that you're doing it, like while your heart rate is up. So strength training is kind of the gift that keeps on giving that way in terms of boosting your metabolism and burning those calories. Not only that, but it's what it takes to build muscle. So we always want to be putting more muscle on our frame. Do not worry about getting bulky or looking manly or anything like that. I promise it's really hard to actually achieve that aesthetic. Like women who look like that try really hard and are definitely like eating in a surplus and lifting super, super heavy. For all of us, everyone on this call and most women, it's just going to make us look that toned look that we want. We're like muscular and curvy in the right places. And that muscle requires more energy while it's at rest than other body tissue. So it's like this, it's like the gift that keeps giving. So you're going to burn more calories after the workout. And then as you build muscle on your frame, that muscle is going to need more energy even while it's at rest. So it's going to just keep boosting that metabolism up. It also reduces heart disease risk factors, reduce blood pressure, increase muscle sensitivity, increase fat burning, strengthens bones, which is super, super important for healthy aging, and also really helps with balance. Another thing that's important for healthy aging. It also has mental health benefits like reducing fatigue, anxiety, depression, tension. It just makes you feel so good, right? It also increases your cognitive abilities, self-esteem, mood, tranquility, confidence, and swagger. I always say there is nothing as powerful as like lifting some heavy weights and putting them down and being like, I just did that. Boom. Right? Versus like, I've never really seen anyone get off of like an exercise bike or an elliptical and be like, yeah, what's up now? So, and I hear that from my clients who have started doing strength training with me, that it makes them feel very powerful and very confident, and that transfers into other aspects of their life.
That's
And
awesome.
then, at least you look and feel amazing. It will give you that toned look and curves, that sexy curves that you want. Whereas cardio, it's good for burning calories, but it's actually a catabolic activity, which means it's going to kind of burn those muscle tissues because it's telling your body to get as light as possible. So getting rid of fat tissue, but also getting rid of muscle tissue, which you really don't want because it's going to end up decreasing your metabolism. Okay. So any questions about that before I kind of move on into like how to structure a workout program?
No, just that I want to be toned and sexy and not skinny and frail.
Okay, awesome. Yes, I hope that's everyone's goal to be. I love that goal. Okay, so what I'm going to be, you guys already know you have access to the Trainerize app with my workouts, and I want you to feel like you can feel empowered to kind of create your own workout program that works for you, since this isn't like very specific one-on-one coaching, and it's going to kind of give you the knowledge and the power that you know you can figure out what you need and also how to do it. So the first thing is, oh, sorry, there's one more thing in the chat. The chat box disappeared. There it is. Can you put the workout app info? Yeah, I can. Sure, I can. I'll just resend that. A lot of times if you don't like download it right away, it's hard to find again. So I'll just resend. Does anybody else need to still get onto the Trainerize app? Need me to resend that?
So Annie, I'm only
Yeah.
seeing like 7 workouts. Do you like, is it just those, or are they updated in there too?
No, there's just, I'll sort of get into that more, but
Okay.
I'll only put out like a workout program for about a month because I want you guys doing the same workouts for 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
That's a big shift from if you're used to doing like Orange Theory or HIIT classes where it's like a different workout every single day. Where strength training is about progressive overload. So you want to be doing the same workouts for about 4 to 6 weeks where your muscles are getting stronger. And as you do, you're kind of trying to stay one step ahead of it where you're either increasing the reps or increasing the resistance or making it harder at some level, but you want to actually be doing those same exercises again and again. It's not our body that gets bored. Like there's some kind of myth out there about like confusing your muscles and stuff like that. You want to make sure you're hitting all the major muscle groups, but it is about that repetition and, you know, doing the same exercises. And a good amount of time is like 4 to 6 weeks, and then change it up. And then, so I'll just have workouts in there. I'll usually have like a leg day, upper body, like a HIIT thing, and probably chest and back, which I'll talk more about. So there only should be like 6 to 7 in there at a time. So that way.
That makes so much more sense because I'm so used to getting new workouts when I've used this app before. So yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. So let me go back to this. Okay, so we're getting how to plan and structure your own workouts. So no matter how much time you have, I would love, ideally, for everyone to claim 1 hour of time each day for you to take care of yourself. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing a really hard workout, you know, for an hour a day, but it's just really helpful to have that time on your schedule, whether it's the same time every day, maybe it's before work, maybe it's at lunch, maybe it's after work, where you are just, it's your sacred time where you're taking care of yourself. And maybe 2 or 3 of those days are workouts, and the other days they're stretching or resting or whatever you need. So ideally, I would love to have everyone take an hour of time every day for yourself. If you can't, if you're not there, if you can't do that just because of life's limitations, no worries. You know, we're always just starting where we are and kind of knowing what we're aiming for. But that is sort of the ideal. And then I want you to just think of how many days do you have for working out? Or if you can take an hour, say you can take an hour of time every day, but you're like, I'm currently doing 0 workouts. I don't want anyone going from 0 workouts to 6 workouts a week, right? Then if you're doing 0, I would want you to move to like 2 workouts a week or something like that. So think of how many days do you have to do workout? And then I do want everyone to start strength training at least give it a try. The beautiful thing about this is because of COVID, you can work out at home. I gave you guys the links to get the resistance bands and try to get some dumbbells. I know Ariel found some at TJ Maxx. And just between those resistance bands and a set of dumbbells, you can get a really good workout at home, and you can start to build up some fitness and strength, but also some confidence in how to do the movements and what they should feel and look like, so that when you're ready to transition back to the gym, which if you're not now, you'll feel like strong and confident going into the weight room. Or if you want to do that now, all of the workouts can either be done at home or at the gym. I'm not doing separate ones, so they're pretty much, you can do them at home or at the gym. Okay, so if you have 2 days, it should be 2 days with a full body workout. So you're hitting legs, back, chest, arms, and core, with at least 1 day in between to recover. And I'll make sure that there's all of these workouts for you guys to choose from. So there'll be one full body strength workout. If you have 3 days, you should be doing 2 days legs and then 1 day upper, with at least a rest day in between the legs. So we're always resting at least 24 to 48 hours between working out the same muscle group. So that's different between HIIT or cardio. You can do it over and over and over again. With strength training, you're going to be a little bit sore. And that's literally those muscles tearing down the old muscles and building up new ones that are bigger and stronger than the old ones. So you need to give your body time to go through that healing process. So you should not be doing like leg day back to back with another leg day. So either a day of rest or active recovery in between, or do like a leg day and then upper body, and then you can go back to legs.
Annie, is that because you're typically stronger as a woman with your legs versus upper body?
No, it's just because legs is harder and it is a lot more compound movement. So it's actually, it's an one I choose to favor.
Okay. I was just curious because I'm stronger with lower body than I am upper body.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that it could do if you're like, know that you're stronger in the lower body than the upper body, and that's something you want to work on, you could reverse that too and do like 1 day legs and 2 days upper body.
Oh no, I want to get rid of the butt.
Okay. Okay. So 4 days, you're going to do a leg and then upper and then break and then repeat legs, upper body. And so I'll have a combined upper body, but I'll also have a push day and a pull day. Has anyone ever heard of that before? BB's nodding her head. Yes. Okay. So, we'll split the muscle groups up, sort of getting more and more specialized as we do more workouts. So push day are muscles that push, shockingly. So chest, triceps, a lot of that anterior core. And then a pull day would be back and biceps. And so it's just a good way to break up upper body. I'm never going to give you guys an arms workout. There will be leg day, but never arms. You're going to get lots of arm workout, back, biceps, triceps, shoulders. All those muscles are going to get incorporated in the complex lifts we're doing in the push day or the pull day. So I'll probably label it either as a push day or a pull day, or chest and core, chest, core, triceps, or back and biceps. Okay, so all of them equally important. And if you prefer to do them combined, do the combined upper body day. If you, it's a good time to like try on lots of different things and see what you like, how you like it. And then as you're doing more, if you are like ready to be a beast in the gym, then you can do like 6 days a week would be legs, chest, back and biceps, rest, back again, legs, chest, back and biceps. So I don't want anyone doing more than 6 strength training workouts, but I think for everyone in this group, like somewhere in the 2 to 4 range would be great, but probably starting with like 2 to 3 and just adding that on to the walking that you're doing. As this starts to feel good and as you're you know, building up strength and building up energy and getting some momentum, then we can add in a little bit of cardio. But I don't want anyone's like primary workout to be cardio. It's just, it's not effective. It slows down your metabolism, doesn't build muscle, but it is fun. Like we talked about Zumba or Peloton, like those kind of things are really fun. So if that's feeling energized, that's a good thing to do on like an active recovery day, like 20 to 30 minutes max. Something that you find fun. Cardio can be Zumba, it can be elliptical, it can be biking, it can be biking outside as it's nicer, it can be biking with like the amazing Peloton instructors, and it can be any of those things, but it should not be like your primary exercise MO. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? Does anyone have questions about that or want to dispute? No? Okay. Cool. Let's keep going. BB, if you need to take off, I know you have important commitments, so I'll post the rest of this in the group. You're going to definitely want to catch it though, because I'm going to talk about a training journal thing that you're going to really like, because it is about tracking your training, not about like journaling your feelings. Okay.
I do that. I do track my training.
Yeah, you're going to like it. I was thinking about you as I was doing my own and putting this together.
I have noticed that you haven't mentioned the wonderful rowing machine in all of the.
PTSD. A great form of cardio is a rowing machine.
I don't have one in my basement. I do not.
I donated mine to Power 10, so I have an excuse not to do it right now. If you really want to challenge yourself, go for the rowing machine. Absolutely. As long as it feels fun to you. Okay. The second part of planning your workouts is within each workout, how much time do you have? And this is why I'm going to like release to you guys next time the fully recorded workouts that I'll do. I think these are really nice if you are completely new to working out, if you've never worked out with a trainer, if you just feel like you have no idea what you're doing, you can literally follow along and work out with me. It's like having me as your workout buddy on a video where I record the entire workout. The downside of that is it's not very customizable. So if you have 30 minutes and the workout's 45 minutes, you know, it's not exactly customizable to what you need. So I'm going to be putting the same workouts in, recording the full workout, just kind of once, and then also in the Trainerize app. And I would love to have you guys shifting to the Trainerize app. But if you're brand new or you need that motivation to stick with the whole workout, by all means, do the recorded workout. But here is why I want you to be able to look at the workouts as listed in the Trainerize app, because you should be able to customize it to how much time you have. So I'll do each one in this sort of formula where it's going to go, there's a warm up, and then there's a couple there's like a main exercise, and then there's some accessory exercises, and then some isolation. And so say there's like 4 exercises. I want you to think about dividing up how much time you have and like doing them evenly. So maybe it's just 2 sets of each one instead of 4 sets, because you have 20 minutes instead of 40 minutes or an hour. It's always better to do 20 minutes of hard work than to skip a workout because you don't have a whole hour or hour and a half. If you do have extra time, you can definitely take time to do some core work. And I'll put a separate core workout in there as well that you can just add on when you're feeling it. Some of the workouts have a lot of core work in them, but I'll do an extra one. And then also taking time to stretch and foam roll if you have time. But if you just have like 20 to 30 minutes, you can just divide up your workout, do a quick warm up, don't skip that, but then divide up the exercises into how much time you have, just kind of divide it evenly and move through them so you hit all those muscle groups. And then if you have a day where you're going to do cardio after, you could do low intensity cardio after a strength training session. So low intensity cardio is the opposite of high intensity interval training. So that could be like pretty kind of like steady state. You can have a conversation while you're doing it, but your heart rate is up, your breath is up. So that might be elliptical, treadmill, exercise book, bike, rowing machine, stairs, any of those things, I would avoid doing like a whole Peloton or Soul Cycle class or like a Orange Theory or boot camp class after doing strength training. You just want to do sort of that steady state cardio and get a few extra minutes of movement in. Okay, so the last thing I want to go over is just how to set up a training journal. But before I do that, does anybody have questions? No? Okay, this is going to be really good and really helpful. So I'm really excited to share this with you guys. Okay, and I will post these pictures individually in the Facebook group so you can kind of go back and use them as a template to do your own. So going back to the journal that we started in the beginning, we're going to kind of shift to what we're tracking and how we're tracking. So we're tracking all the food in MyFitnessPal. So you can use that same journal, or if you want to have like a dedicated training journal, you could do that. I like to kind of consolidate and just have one, but whatever works for you. So first thing is you're going to make, you can see this says my February training plan. Let me pop in the chat box. Have to run. Okay, bye, Miriam. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, definitely catch the rest of this. Okay, so this is where I set up my kind of plan and my goals. So for me, I'm doing 4 times a week strength training, 2 times a week cardio sessions of about 30 minutes. Yoga, which we didn't really talk about, but if you are a yoga lover, I would definitely try to add it in. Once or twice, it feels so good. And it's such a good for stretch and balance and a body weight strength training. And then I also put my steps in there. And then second part is making this little kind of habit tracker. And you can make this as complicated as you want. I know, Laura, were you the one who had that beautiful habit tracker last time with color coding and everything?
I can show you my pictures. I'll put them on Facebook. I was super proud of it. I don't do it anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah. So however you want it to do, Laura, maybe you could post those in the Facebook group. So I just do for each week, then I kind of write out the calendar for the week, and then I put when I'm going to do which workout. And then I also track my steps, my water, my sleep on here. And then food and weight I track in MyFitnessPal. Okay, so that's step 1 is figuring out your breakdown of your plan. How many workouts are you going to plan to do, and what kind? And then step 2 is going to be scheduling them. So I sat down with my calendar open on my computer, and I just went through the week and I looked at when does it fit, and then compared to like, what did I tell myself I was going to do? And I wrote them all out right here. So I have Monday, leg day at 11, Tuesday, chest and core at 8 a.m. Then I'll take a break from lifting. I did yoga today, and then I'll go back tomorrow, leg day, and then another back day, and then cardio. So I'm just doing that separately, kind of on an active recovery day, and then getting the last yoga and cardio in together. So I wrote them all out. There's a lot of science about the power of handwriting in terms of like remembering and committing to something. And then I took what I wrote and I put it on my calendar. So I was already looking at like when these times fit, wrote it all down, and then I'll go back and put it in my calendar. And from there, the calendar is the boss. Like once it is in my calendar, it is like sacred time. And it will be so helpful if you guys can see it that way too, and just let your calendar be your boss. Okay. And then the third step is planning your workouts. And this is where the training journal is going to be really helpful and kind of fun for tracking the progress. I know for those of you who mentioned you like the data and you like seeing the progress, this is a really nice way to see it. So whether you're doing my workouts or some other workouts, it doesn't matter, but it's just really helpful to write it out and say like, this is the exercise that I'm doing. And then I put like week 1, week 2, week 3 going across. And then I put how much weight I did. And then you can see I made these little symbols. Like this one was kind of easy. So this like up arrow means next week I'm going to increase it because I'm always trying to get stronger. This little star means next week I'll keep it the same. And then I did this with like all the workouts. So this is just like another example. This is the leg day. Same thing here. I put like a little star. And then you can like keep yourself on track as you go through, like either checking off exercises or writing down the resistance, the weights that you did. You can see this one I did with the resistance band. So I'm writing like red and blue band or blue and yellow or whatever. It just to know exactly where I was and kind of see that progress. And it really helps for staying on track and also for tracking your progress and seeing like, what did I do last week? What's my plan for today? And then how am I progressing? How can I get stronger today? Or how can I like challenge myself to do better today than I did last time? Okay, so I will post the pictures of all that in the group so you guys can look at them when you're doing your own. But for now, I want to leave it right there. I know it's kind of a lot. So I'm going to be going through and resharing the Trainerize app. I'll start sharing. It's just a Google Doc that has YouTube links for the full workout. So whichever you prefer. And then I'll share also the training journal, like how I broke it down so you guys can copy that as well. And, it's kind of been the theme of the night, I think, is progress over perfection and starting where you are and making it fun. So those are the 3 things you take away. I think that will serve you really well. Does anyone have any questions, concerns? Don't want to start working out, anything like that?
My meal, I tried my air fryer, so we'll see how it turns out.
Yes.
Good. Annie, I did my work, like my check-in. Sorry, my dog. But I think I need help figuring out my macros and what I'm tracking. So just FYI.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I'll look at that tomorrow and get back to you. And if we need to do just like a quick one-on-one call, we can do that too.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, Laura. Thank you. Good night. I think everyone probably needs to get going. So does anyone have any last questions? I'm happy to stay on and answer any questions. But other than that, I will let you guys go. Michelle knows I'm like addicted to this new show on Amazon Prime, which is the plan.
What show?
It's called Tell Me Your Secrets.
Oh.
It's like, it's the only show I've ever actually felt tempted to like stay up all night binge watching. It's like about this serial killer and his girlfriend, and she is getting released in the witness protection program and like trying to start a new life. And then at the same time, the mother of one of the girls who's missing at the same time that all these other girls died is like on a vendetta to find out what happened to her daughter. She's convinced that these people did it. And so she's trying to prove it. So this lady's over here, like with all these secrets, but trying to.
Oh my God. I'm going to go watch that right now. That sounds so good.
It's so good. It's on Amazon Prime.
I love it.
Okay. I saw Amber raise your hand. Is that a question or something?
Just quick question. So did you get my invite for my Fitness Pal? I'm wondering if I did that wrong.
Let me see real quick.
I know. I was trying to figure that out.
Oh, I have one. Are you Little Seg?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Accepted. We're friends.
Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Sorry about that. I think I actually saw it come in, but I couldn't do it at the time. And then I forgot. So sorry.
No, that's okay. Just made me think because you asked about my Fitness Pal. So I thought I didn't send it right.
Yep. I got it.
You.
Okay. Awesome. Anybody else?
No, Annie, I think I'm going to hit you up tomorrow about my fat because I think we need to like adjust it a little bit.
Sure. Yep. No problem.
I'll talk to you tomorrow about it. All right.
Okay.
Bye, ladies.
So good. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Good to see you. Good night.
Have a great night. Bye.